going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you lot are all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy where I evaluate everything that's being said about the Blues across the morning headlines, give you my opinion on it, and more importantly, ask for your opinion. Today there's a lot to talk about. John Stones has re-emerged into the reports. Also, Lewis Slam Dunk is out there floating around still. Ben Chilwell, Kai Havertz stuff is being said. And also I want to talk about Michy Batshuayi and his impending exit from Stamford Bridge, and where is he going to go? How much is he going to cost? Can Chelsea even sell him? Lots and lots to crack into, so strap yourselves in, pour yourself a drink and enjoy. Lots to keep up with in the world of football at the moment, so to help you do that, you should consider checking out OneFootball. That's right, my sponsor is the slick, consolidated, all-in-one platform, everything you need regarding football that you can have on your phone, tablet, or indeed just the website. It will keep you plugged into all transfer news, and more specifically Chelsea if you select them on the app. When football's on, it gives you stats, statistics, fixtures, results, everything you ever need to know. So do yourself a favour, click the link in the top of the description and just go check out OneFootball. Hey, it's free. Alright then, let's get into it. Right, where do we start? Let's start off with centre backs. First off, the headlines are talking a lot about Lewis Dunk and John Stones for central defenders. I've spoken a lot about Lewis Dunk. You've probably watched me speak about him before if you're a fan or subscriber to this channel. I'm a big fan, and personally I think he's a player that Chelsea could really do with pretty much exactly what Chelsea need, in my opinion. I'm not going to speak loads about Lewis Dunk today. I just want to basically tell you in this episode of Chelsea News that the stories are continuing to circulate and dominating headlines. So if you want a little bit more detail on how I personally feel about Lewis Dunk and this potential reported £40 million deal, I suggest and urge you to go and check out my previous video on Lewis Slam Dunk. Also, John Stones, World Cup centre-half. World Cup centre-half? Multiple Premier League winner. That sounds better. I have reported on John Stones before, but he is not wanted by Manchester City at the moment. He's fallen way out of favour, and really, he needs to go somewhere else. Now, I've done a video on this. Apparently, he's reportedly available for £20 million, and Chelsea are considering him as an option. The story went quiet a little bit, but in today's headlines, he is bubbled up to the surface yet again. Now, I'll reiterate what I said before. £20 million for a Premier League winning centre-half who's 26 years old, England international, does seem pretty alluring, right? Probably purely because he's won the Premier League a couple of times and it's only 20 million, and like I said, he's young. But is he what Chelsea need? Probably not. I would personally much prefer the likes of Lewis Dunk to come into the Chelsea backline and play alongside one of the centre-halves that we already have, man. Now, there is sort of conflicting reports regarding John Stones. Some that, different clubs are looking at him, that it is £20 million, which again sounds pretty appealing, but also that he might be available for a loan away from Manchester City, just so he's playing football and his wages are off the books and he's basically playing football. Now that's really interesting alone. I'm not sure how long he's got left on this deal. Let me check. Okay, so he's got 2 years left, which is, God, look at his value, man. Apparently he's played right back as well. Who knew? So 2 years left, that's kind of weird. He would have 1 year left on his deal after a loan spell. Maybe they're just desperate to get rid of him. 2 years though for 20 million. That's just seemed like a great deal. But again, personally, I don't think he's right for Chelsea. I would much prefer Lewis Dunk. If Chelsea, the reports are suggesting that Chelsea are actually interested in getting both Lewis Dunk and John Stones, and you imagine if they'd made both of those purchases, they'd be looking to start them next to each other in the Premier League. So what does that mean for Chelsea's current 4 centre-halves? Personally, I'd like to bring in one, Lewis Dunk, and partner him next to one of our other centre-backs. That's good. Chelsea might sell Zuma, which is disappointing. I think he'd look good next to Zuma. But if they see more value in selling Zuma, maybe you partner Dunk next to a Christensen or Tomori. Hell, I'd feel a lot better than that, what we've got at the moment. So watch this space. Chelsea are of course very interested in finding a defender. I believe the Declan Rice struggle continues. West Ham are reportedly not very interested in selling and are batting away Chelsea's proposals, reportedly, of trying to swap Barkley or Michy Batshuayi plus cash for Declan Rice. So if it was Chelsea's design to play him as a centre-half, maybe John Stones, Lewis Dunk, these are stories that are rotating around the media. Who knows, maybe they are alternatives to Declan Rice rather than additions. Alright, let's move on. Sky Sports are reporting on the stories of Ben Chilwell and Kai Havertz, the two high-profile targets left in Chelsea's transfer plans. First off, Kai Havertz. It's gone quiet, people are worried, but as I've reported and certain journalists have said, Chelsea and Leverkusen are the type of clubs that like to conduct their business in, I was going to say quiet, but probably absolute silence. We know Kai Havertz would like to join Chelsea, and we know he's a priority target for the Blues. They want to seize this opportunity of bringing in an absolutely elite generational talent, even if he's not a problem position. Now, apparently the issue with this deal at the moment is Chelsea and Leverkusen have agreed an upfront fee, which is great, and the player has agreed personal terms with Chelsea, or at least the insinuation is there would be no problems at all with the personal terms of Chelsea, the contract essentially. But actually the problem is supposed to lie in the add-ons, the bonuses, the stuff after the upfront fee. So maybe, who knows, this is a speculation. Say Chelsea and Leverkusen have agreed with 70 million up front. That's not, I've plucked that out of the air, it's just a figure, it's just a theoretical fee. Afterwards, they might be asking for, okay, so 70, we want 20 million in bonuses, taken up to 90 million. Chelsea might say, no, we'll give you 5 or 10 million in bonuses and add-ons, performance-based ones, or sometimes it's with a player if they make 10 or 15 appearances in a season on these smaller transfers, but not on this kind of transfer, because obviously he's going to make loads of appearances. It will be performance-based bonuses, essentially. Anyway, reportedly, that's where the problem lies between the two clubs, which you think eventually they'd be able to iron out and get the deal over the line, so fingers crossed there. Right, Ben Chilwell. Again, this is going to be really quiet, because there was that podcaster guy, I forget his name, he said, Ben Chilwell has left the Leicester City training ground, medical expected at Chelsea within a couple of days. Anyway, we all know Frank Lampard, Jody Morris, Ashley Cole want Ben Chilwell. Chelsea fan, Chelsea boy, I suppose. By the way, worth mentioning, Lewis Dunk is also a Chelsea fan. Ding, 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 ding. And I'm not sure what the situation is with Phillipe at present. Obviously, he and Lampard want each other. God, that sounds romantic. Obviously, he wants to come to Chelsea. Lampard wants him to come to Chelsea. Maybe Leicester have submitted to the prospect of him being sold, especially since they didn't qualify for the Champions League, so they want to bring in those additional finances. But I'm not sure what the movements are. The general consensus is, yes, this will happen, and it's edging closer and closer, but I do wonder what the agreed fee is, the transfer fee, the number they ended up landing on, because obviously the rumored reported figures originally were just radical 85 million, similar to the likes of Harry Maguire, who has just straight up not looked value for money at Manchester United. And Chelsea have been stung with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Well, not stung, because it was a release clause rather than a transfer fee bid, so that was their own doing. But I think Chelsea would be really reluctant to pay incredible money, so I'm very, very interested to see what the figure would be finalised on Ben Chilwell, and I think that would calm a lot of fans. If it's south of 55 million, I think a lot of people would accept that. But if it's 60 million or more, I mean, if he's 60 million pounds, Harry Maguire went for 25 million more than that, and Chilwell might perform better, we could probably move on. But it's just going to be, basically, it's one of those things that the lower the value or the lower the cost, the more calm everyone will feel. So watch this space, I guess. Right, finally today I wanted to talk about Michy Batshuayi. 1 year left on his deal. In terms of him as a player in isolation, he should have the most value out of Chelsea's one-to-way strikers in Giroud and Batshuayi. Very young, he scores a lot of goals generally when he's given the chance. Two-footed, strong, fast. He looks like he can play in the Premier League, no problem. He does look like a player that's actually very difficult to coach, and there lies his problem at Chelsea most probably. But Chelsea is struggling to offload him. West Ham don't want him. I don't think he wants to move to just any club. It's getting a little bit difficult, but there are some reports that Leeds United want him as backup to Patrick Bamford. Okay, personally, if Batshuayi goes to Leeds, he starts for them, in my opinion. Now, Batshuayi is very, very fit. He can run around, so maybe he can play Bielsa ball, but if Italian coaches at Chelsea and Sarri and Conte and even Lampard struggled getting the tactical information into Batshuayi's head, Marcelo Bielsa is absolutely going to do his nut trying to get instructions into Michy Batshuayi's head. But hey, who knows, if he just wants a finisher, Batshuayi could suit the bill. And also, 22 million's being reported, how much they'd have to pay to get him from Chelsea. To be honest, man, I think Chelsea do quite well to get 22 million for this reserve striker who's got 1 year left on his deal. But who knows, maybe an agreement can be formed. They probably see a Premier League winner in his prime for 20 million. Might work. Anyway, what do you guys think? Get down in the comment section below and express your thoughts and opinions on all the stories I've spoken about in today's video. And if you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like, that helps me out a lot. Do consider subscribing to my second channel, Jan's Yard, where I do a live, almost daily football streaming show called Chatting Balls, where we chat about all football. We've been talking about the Champions League and Europa League recently. There'll be an episode today talking about the Manchester United loss to Sevilla in the Europa League, so if you're into Chatting Balls, go check it out. That's it from me, lot. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby